guys, welcome back onto my channel, and today I'm so excited and I want to give a book review of this book which is currently flashing on your screen now. So can I get this book please? Thank you. So here it is, George and the Big Bang. The title is so dramatic and the writer of this book is Lucy and Stephen Hawking, which many of you guys know. So this book is so gripping, so informative, so captivating, and a lot hilarious, humorous, whatever you want. But this book, I suggest you guys to read. This is so awesome and I love. So without any further ado, so let's jump into just about this book, which is behind this book. George and Annie are best friends with an incredible secret. They have the power to go on galaxy-hopping adventures. But when they encounter a sinister rebel scientist determined to sabotage a world new science experiment, they realize it's a countdown to a deadly disaster. Can George and Annie save the Earth from a second Big Bang? Now you guys are sure that this book has to do something with the Big Bang, which happened about 13.7 billion years ago. So now, without any further ado, let's dive into this book and learn. And let's see what this Big Bang has to do with this book. So what happens in this book is that George's pig, Freddy, was so depressed and disappointed in his new home, the children's farm, for a long period of time. It was left there in the previous book and he was still in that place. So now, George and Annie were also feeling depressed to see their pig feeling so sad. So they planned of searching some place where Freddy could live. So there's only one person, not a person. There's only one thing which could help them out to find a place. That is none other than Cosmos. So Cosmos, the supercomputer, was in the previous book severely damaged. So now he was being mended by Eric again with all his IQ. And then now Cosmos was more friendly and but he's more powerful. That's the main thing. So now he searched on over thousands and 10,000s of files to search for a place where Freddy could live. And then he got a place, the Foxbridge College. So in that Foxbridge College, the college of Eric and Dr. Graham Reaper, where they studied as a student. So in that Foxbridge College, Cosmos zoomed in and showed George and Annie a floor where it was so clean with food and water and ventilation. It supports life for a pig like Freddy. So Freddy could live there temporarily. So Cosmos told that your pig can live here. And then Annie and George were excited. But then they spotted out a group of people who were chatting. So Cosmos zoomed in and they were eavesdropping those idiots. So what they were doing is that they thought that Eric, Annie's dad, experiment in large Hadron Collider would make the Earth destroy not only the Earth, the whole universe. So they wanted these scientists to prevent doing these experiments. So then Eric told George and Annie that it was none other than Thorax. So the full form of Thorax is theory of everything resists addition of gravity. So to make it a short form, Annie just made it Thorax. So now they were planning of just not leaving it, and then Eric arrived and he helped out Annie and George to find a place for Freddy. And he found a place which is so beautiful, surrounded by many trees, and that was best for a pig to live. So this Freddy was so excited to see his new home with a lot of fresh water and a lot of greenery. So he went there and the Cosmos door closed and now they went home. So the next day, Eric was in the space, actually in the moon. He was studying the moon rock. So Stephen Hawking never forgets to give a detailed information in which George and Annie and Eric are in the particular celestial body. So here Stephen Hawking discussed some question and he writes the answer himself. So I want to discuss with you guys about that. When did the moon form? So it is estimated that our moon formed over 4 billion years ago. And the fun fact is that our sun, our star, formed about 4.5 billion years ago. So after 500 million years, our moon was formed after the form of the sun. How did it form? So scientists think that a planet-sized object struck the Earth, causing a dusty, hot cloud of rocky fragments to be catapulted into Earth's orbit. As the cloud cooled down, component bits and pieces struck together, eventually forming a moon. How big is the moon? So you can say that moon is much smaller than our Earth. We can fit over 49 moons in our own Earth. Imagine it. So next question. Does it have an atmosphere? Nope, it doesn't. That is why whenever you're in shade in the moon, you can see all the stars and all the galaxies full clearly. What explanations did people have for the moon before scientists discovered how it was formed? So a long time ago, people on Earth thought that moon was just a ball of fire and it produced heat by magic. So in some way they were right, but not by magic. So moon is just a celestial body. You can say that it's just like a mirror. So the sun's rays fall directly on the moon, and the moon just reflects that sun's rays whenever the Earth rotates. So now the next question. Could life exist on the moon? Nope, it doesn't. Moon doesn't support life. If it was, I would be shooting my video in moon itself. So the problems why moon is not supporting life is that it has a very thin atmosphere and it has very little amount of water, and so it doesn't support life. Without an atmosphere, nobody can live. Has our moon never visited by other civilizations? So we can say that in our own Earth, the NASA group of people who send satellites and astronauts to space. So 12 astronauts from NASA have visited the moon. But have any other extraterrestrial civilizations visited the moon except human civilization? Nope, I think no. But the scientists are still researching by studying all the moon rocks, and in this book, Eric was also doing the same thing. He was studying the moon rocks to find if any aliens was living in the moon. So back to the storyline. So Eric was studying the moon rock and he got a lunar rover, and then George arrived to Eric's house because he needed and wanted to know where his pig Freddy is. So he went and came to the study room and he saw that the doorway was open. So he wore his dress suit, the space suit, and he went into the moon. So when he went there, he saw Eric and he tried to help Eric by doing all the things which Eric told. And then at the final, Eric told George, let's take a photo. And he took a camera saying that, say cheese, the moon is made of. And they took a photo, and now they were about to go home, their home planet, when they saw a comet-like thing was coming down. And Eric soon realized that it was not a comet, it was a man-made thing. So they rushed off to the doorway opened by Cosmos, and they went to the study room of Eric. So sorry if there is any noise disturbance. When they went there to the study room, Eric's door was knocked. So now Eric was he was rushing off. He was taking out his spacesuit, and George took out first, and then Annie and Susan and Vincent arrived. So Vincent is a new character in this book. So he is actually a friend of Annie. So they all arrived in the house, and Susan and Vincent went to the kitchen while Annie came to the study. And then she was shocked to see Eric wearing his spacesuit till now. He was not so fast to open his spacesuit out. So now Annie was so disappointed to know that Eric and George went to the moon. So Annie hasn't went to moon anytime, so she was sad. So the next day, Eric was going to stadium, not a stadium, it was actually place where he was going to give a speech about the cosmology and all about space, which I love. So he gave a lecture about the space, a science lecture, and he told the Big Bang Theory. So the Big Bang Theory, let me explain it to you guys in a very short form. So our Big Bang started, our universe was a billion years ago. It was just a dense point. So this extremely dense point exploded, spreading all the matter into space. So then all the matters were burst out onto the space, and it started to expand, and you can say that it is still expanding. So that is the reason why we can't even say that our universe is this far. Nope, it is like infinite. It extends every second. So this is the Big Bang Theory. And here, Stephen Hawking also gives the Big Bang lecture. So after that, he gives some theories like the classical theory, which includes both law of motion and law of universal gravitation, and even the quantum theory. So the classical theory, including law of motion and law of universal gravitation, was good for all the big particles. It says that the big particles exist, and even it could say that the bacteria exists. But for small, very small things like atom, they need a separate theory which explains that atom does exist and it has some properties. So while in this classical theory, it says that atoms do not exist. So they invented a theory which is the quantum theory to understand all about the atoms for sure. So now back to the storyline. So in that meeting, in the ending of the lecture which he gave, Professor Zuzubin. So I have this really bad pronunciation of Zuzubin because whenever I say Zuzubin, it's like Zuzubin, as if I got a shock. Zuzubin. So Professor Zuzubin asked George to take Eric and come to the office of Eric. So George soon realized it was none other than Eric's old tutor, who was about hidden for 7 to 8 years, and nobody knew where he was. So now George rushed off to Eric and called Eric, saying that Eric, it is an emergency and you have to go to your office because Professor Zuzubin called you. So Eric was surprised to hear that Professor Zuzubin heard my lecture, and then he rushed off to his office, and Professor Zuzubin had a really sad news. So the comet-like thing, it was actually a satellite, which Eric soon realized. So that comet-like thing took a photo when Eric and Annie were taking a photo. Eric and George. So when Eric and George were taking, say, geez, the moon is made of, the comet-like thing took a photo of them. So now, Professor Zuzubin had then evidence. He got this evidence from Dr. Ling, who is from China. Okay, he is from China. So he owns a satellite from which he got this photo. So now, Professor Zuzubin called Eric to the Order of Science, the meeting hall, to decide if Eric should have this cosmos and he could work on cosmos from now. So then he was going to Switzerland for that meeting, and now before that he left Pookie, which is a supercomputer owned by Dr. Graham Reaper, and all the spacesuit to George, saying that if somebody came to my home and wanted all the spacesuits and all the things which I have about space, you take care of it. So George took all the things to his home, and then he got a letter from Dr. Graham Reaper saying that evil is at work. Our friend Eric is in danger, is in very grave danger. So I am going to open a portal using Pookie. So be careful because I can open whenever. So pay attention. So then there was a voice of Dr. Graham Reaper with the help of Pookie, and he opened a portal, and George went to the portal, and he went to a new galaxy which is so great, Andromeda. Andromeda is twice time bigger than our own Milky Way galaxy. So he went there. Dr. Grim Reaper told that he was one of the member of the Thorax. Oh my god! So what this Thorax were planning is that they were going to place a bomb in the Order of Science meeting hall, and everyone were going to blast out, and no scientist was going to live. All the popular scientists was going to come to the Order of Science meeting hall, and now it was so danger. The bomb's name is quantum mechanical bomb. It is so powerful that you can't defuse it. But there is only one way from which you can defuse it, and Dr. Grim Reaper told it to George. So, George straight went back to Switzerland. And can George help Eric come out of this trap of the thorax? Let's see. So you have to grab the book and read it now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like, thumbs up to this video. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you watch my previous videos and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So until then, read books and stay bookish. So goodbye.